So Allah sent down several ayahs because of this guy. That's how evil this man was. So he would say, Ka'b ibn Ashraf, he would say, Ma wallahu man qiblatihim allati kanu alayha. He said, what is wrong with these people? They used to face Baitul Maqdis, now all of a sudden they're facing Makkah. What made them change the Qibla they used to be on? And then Allah sent down an ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah says, سَيَقُولُ السُّفَهَاءُ مِنَ النَّاسِ ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها قل لله المشرق والمغرب يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. Allah said, سيقول السفهاء, the foolish among people would say, what have, I mean, what have took place for these people to change their Qibla that they used to be on? And Allah said, Kul, O Muhammad, say it. Lillahi al-mashriq wal-maghrib. The Qibla, meaning the east and the west, belongs to Allah. Yahdi man yasha ila siratil mustaqim. And Allah would guide whoever He wants to the best path. And this same man, the same Ka'b ibn Ashraf, when the ayah of zakat, meaning to give a sadaqah, to give the zakat, the charity, when that ayah came down, the zakat became an obligation. The same man, the same Ka'b, he would say, why would you want to give your money to this guy, man? Every time he come up with something new and talk about it, he got a revelation, and now he's telling you guys to give some money as a zakat. What kind of zakat? What kind of business is this? Do not give your money to this man, meaning he's referring to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He's saying, do not give your money to this man, because if you do so, you're going to become poor. And as a matter of fact, this man, he's going to go away very soon. So just be patient. Don't give your money and don't even follow him. His case would be dismissed very soon. And then Allah sent down this ayah. Allah said, "Allazina yabkhaluna wa ya'muruna an-nasa bil bukhl wa yaktumuna ma atahum Allah min fadlih wa a'tadna lil kafirina azaban muhina." Allahu Akbar. And Allah said, "Allazina yabkhalun," those who became stingy, who are miser with their money. Not only they miser with their money, not only they're stingy, وَيَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبُخْلِ. They command people, they're telling people, they order people not to spend their money. Or they order people to become very stingy like them. وَيَكْتُمُونَ مَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. And what Allah has given them as a blessing, they hide it, as if Allah did not give it to them. وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا. And we have prepared a painful punishment for those who do not believe, for those who disbelieve. So this ayah came down because of this man. So this same man, Ka'b ibn Ashraf, I'm giving you all these details to show, to tell you why Prophet ordered him to be killed. And this same man, I told you that he's from Bani Nadir, and Bani Nadir has an alliance with Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But this man particularly, he would go out of his way to go see Abu Sufyan. And he would meet up with Abu Sufyan, and they would talk about how to come together and fight Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how to betray their alliances with Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allahu Akbar. So he would tell Abu Sufyan so many information. He would give him so many details about the Muslims in Medina. And then at that meeting, Abu Sufyan asked this man, the Ka'b ibn Ashraf. Abu Sufyan asked him. Abu Sufyan said, "Please, I'm begging you for Allah. Meaning, swear to me that you will tell me the truth. Can you tell me which one, meaning we as a pagan and these people as Muslim, which group is better? Because you, as Ka'b ibn Ashraf, you are from the people of the book. So you have some prophets. Prophet was sent to you. You have books in your own. So you know so much about the prophet, the prophethood. But this man is claiming himself to be a prophet. And even though we don't have prophet in our own, we are pagan. But can you tell me which group, meaning we as a pagan, or this man Muhammad and his group as Muslim, which two groups are better? Allahu Akbar. Abu Sufyan is asking Ka'b ibn Ashraf, and this is what Ka'b said. He said, "Oh, please, you are much better than them. Antum," and this is what he said. He said, "It said Antum haula ahda min allazina amanu sabila," and then Allah called him again. Allah revealed another ayah for what he just said. Allah called him again. And Allah said, Alam tara ila allazina utu nasiban min al-kitab yu'minuna bil jibti wa taghut wa yaquluna lil ladzina kafaru haula'i ahda min allazina amanu sabila. Allahu Akbar. This is in Surah An-Nisa, verse 51. And Allah said, have you, O Muhammad, have you, O Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, not seen those who are given a portion of the scriptures, yet they believe in idols and false gods, and reassure the disbelievers that they are better guided than the believers. Allahu Akbar. So Allah revealed these verses to quote this man again. So Ka'b started writing poetry about Muslim ladies in a very, very nasty way. He would, he would pretty much intent, he would incentivize, meaning he would push the men to go, to do away with some really bad things about Muslim women. And he would, pictures, or he would verbalize some really heinous things about Muslim women or Muslim or Islam, or Allah or book or Quran and so forth. So like he would write poems and say, when you go to Ibn Hisham, the books of Ibn Hisham, some of his poems are there, and it's very graphically nasty. He like literally he would tell men to go after Muslim women and do away with in terms of zina. Allah Akbar, like really nasty stuff. Can't even mention it. So when he go overboard like this, his treachery with Abu Sufyan, and even according to some of the scholars who wrote the book Seerah book, for example, Imam al-Waqidi, and even Imam al-Baghawi, he said that one of the reasons why Prophet ordered this man to be killed, because one time he told Banu Nadir to invite Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to a dinner, because the Prophet is a man. Once you invite him, he's very kind. He would come and stuff like that. And if you offer him food, he would eat it. He's that kind. And this man is telling Banu Nadir to make a feast, to create a food, and poison the food. So when Prophet come and eat it, he would die from it. Allah Akbar. But according to Ibn Hisham, Ibn Ishaq did not mention that. But Imam al-Waqidi said, Ka'b ibn Ashraf, he was killed on the 14th of Rabi'ul Awwal. 3 years of Hijrah. 14th of Rabi'ul Awwal, 3 years of Hijrah. According to Imam Waqidi. But anyway, before we get to that, so Ka'b would, he would insinuate things. He would say bad things about Muslims, the women's and this and that. He would say violent things. He would push, he would encourage people to to create violence against Islam and so forth. The Prophet then said, "Who can, who can help me deal with this man?" So one of the Sahaba, his name was Muhammad. He has the same name as Prophet. So his name was Muhammad ibn Maslama. And Muhammad ibn Maslama said, "Oh Prophet, don't worry about him. I can take care of him." So Muhammad ibn Maslama is from the Aus. We said there was two tribes of Arab, Aus and Khazraj. But the Aus and Banu Nadir, they were very friendly. They were the same. They were very friendly. Two tribes, they were very friendly and stuff like that. But when it comes to Khazraj and Banu Nadir did not get along. So that's why Muhammad bin Maslama said, "You know what, Prophet, I will take care of him because his tribe and my tribe, we get along. He's a good friend of mine. We know one another. So he would not even hesitate to do whatever I tell him to do because he trusts me and he think I would never harm him or stuff like that." So Muhammad bin Maslama volunteers to do this job. But 3 days later, Muhammad bin Maslama could not think of anything. He won't even eat. He was he was very anxious about this. He doesn't know how to do it. And someone came to him and said, "What is wrong with you? Why you're not eating for 3 days?" And Muhammad bin Maslama said, "I promised Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that I'm going to take care of Ka'b bin Ashraf, but I don't know if I could do it." And the man said, "Why don't you go back to Prophet and talk to him, maybe?" And Muhammad bin Maslama went to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and explained that, "I promise you that I'm going to deal with this guy, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can, because unless you allow me to say things that I don't mean it. I mean, I have to come up with something and tell this guy, Ka'b bin Ashraf, that I don't mean, so that way he could trust me. But unless you allow me to do that, I don't know if I have other plan to convince this guy." And Prophet said, "Go ahead, whatever you needed to say, go ahead." And Muhammad bin Maslama said, "Okay." So he went to see Ka'b bin Ashraf. Muhammad bin Maslama, he went to see Ka'b bin Ashraf because they're very good friends back in Jahiliyyah. And he said, "Oh Ka'b, can I borrow some money from you? This man that just came from Mecca, so-called prophet. Now he has a new rules. He's saying we have to pay zakat. This charity things or whatever. I mean, and I don't have money. I'm following him in his religion because obviously you could see he became victorious in Badr. So the Muslims start getting things, and so I decided, let me just join his group. Maybe I could benefit from it. But now he has this new things called zakat, and he's telling us we have to pay zakat once a year, and I don't have money. So can you please give me some money? I would borrow the money and I would pay you back." And then Ka'b ibn Ashraf said, "I told you not to pay a dime, not to pay even a penny to this guy, man. If you keep paying him money, if you keep giving him money, you're gonna be poor. You're gonna be poor." That's what Allah revealed that surah by saying, "Allazina yabkhuluna wa ya'muruna an-nasa bil bukhl." He kept saying, "No, no, no, don't waste your money in this." And Muhammad bin Maslam said, "No, no, no, don't worry about it. The reason I'm paying this zakat, so that way he could trust me even more. I want his trust. I want Muhammad, I want Prophet to trust me. So because if he see me paying zakat, he would trust me even more. So when the time is come, and and we see him going down, then we're gonna leave his religion. But right now we cannot. So whatever he's telling us to do, we have to do it so that way he could trust us more, and then we could benefit a little bit. But in reality, we don't. We're not in his religion. We don't. So he's acting as a hypocrite right in front of Ka'b ibn Ashraf. But in reality, he's not a hypocrite. But he just want Ka'b ibn Ashraf to trust him. So that was the process. He was telling Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So now Ka'b said, "Okay, fine, I'll give you money. Okay, if that's the case, you know what? I'm happy. Just act like you are with him. And if the things start fading away, or he start going down, you leave him. Simple." And he said, "Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do." So Ka'b said, "Okay, so how are you gonna pay me?" And he said, "I don't have money. I told you when I get the money, I would give it to you," said Muhammad bin Maslama. And Ka'b said, "So, okay, now why don't you leave your wife with me? So when you get the money, I'll give your wife back." And Muhammad bin Maslama said, "Are you kidding me? Who's going to leave his wife with you? You are so handsome, so rich. If I leave my wife with you, my wife is going to fall for you. Is going to fall in love with you. No, no woman can resist you." Now he's flattering him. Muhammad bin Masad is flattering Ka'b ibn Ashraf in order for him to even be more convinced. He's saying, "No, no, I'm not living my wife with you because you're so handsome. No." And then he said, Ka'b ibn Ashraf said, "Okay, fine. If you don't want to leave your wife, that's fine. Why don't you leave your son with me?" And Muhammad bin Maslama said, "No, because I don't want my son when he grow up to be people, for people to point their fingers at him by saying his father could not even pay his zakat. That's what he gave him away, as a ransom or whatever. He couldn't even get the money for zakat. He has to give his own son like a slave in order to get money. So my son would be referred in such which he's not, would pretty much affect him for the rest of his life. And I really don't want him to do that or to go through that." And Ka'b said, okay, so you don't want to leave your wife, you don't want to leave your son. So what can you offer? At least you have to give me something. And then Muhammad bin Maslama said, okay, fine. I have my armors, my body armors, my war armors. I have my weapons, and you can take that. And you know my weapon is very, very expensive because back in the days, just the weapon to have the weapon, the armor's weapon, was a fortune. Once you got it, it could last you 15, 20 years. People would inherit this type of, weapons, and so the cop was like, yeah, okay, you know what, that's a good idea. I would take the weapon, bring your weapon, and I'll give you money. And Muhammad bin Waslama said, okay, fine, I'm going to bring the weapons, but let's pick a day, at one night, and we would meet up in such place, and we would exchange these things because I don't want people to find out that I'm borrowing money from you, and this is the reason why and stuff like that because it's very, very embarrassing. And Kab said no problem. So other Sahabi like Silkan ibn Salama and Abu Naila came to Kab too. They said, well, we heard that you gonna lend money to Muhammad bin Maslama and he's gonna give you his armors. We also need to pay that zakat. Can we also bring our armors to you so you can lend us money? And he said, yeah, fine, fine, bring your whatever. The reason he agreed, Ka'b bin Ashraf agreed with this two Sahabi to bring their armor because he knew them too. And Abu Naila was his foster brothers because back in the days, the Arab, when the baby is born, his mother would take him, to somebody, a wet nurse, to breastfeed him. So most of the even Prophet ﷺ, happened to Prophet ﷺ. He was breastfeed by other women, you know, and so same thing. So Abu Naila and Qabn Ashraf, when they were baby, a wet nurse breastfeed both of them, even though they're not from the same family. But their mothers would take them to this woman or whatever woman who's breastfeeding. That woman would breastfeed the child, and the parents would pay her more like a nanny type or whatever for you to understand. So now Cardinal Ashraf said, you know what? I know this. I know, and he know Abu Naila. He said, Abu Naila is my foster brothers because we both, were breastfeed from one woman. So he's more like my brother. I don't mind giving him money, and as long as he pay, but he would have to give him his armors. And Silkan ibn Salma also from Aus. So he knew them. He agreed with all of them. So now, when the meeting time comes, and this Sahabi, before they left, they went to Prophet ﷺ, and Prophet made dua. He even accompanied them all the way to Baqiyah, and he prayed for them, make supplication for them, and for the journey because they go on a jihad. You know. So when they come to the fortress of Ka'b ibn Ashraf, they throw something at his, the wall, so that way he could notice that someone was waiting. So he got up and get ready to come out, to come outside with the meeting. So while he was dressing up, his wife, because he just got newly married, he's newly married to this woman, and that woman grabbed his leg and said, "Where are you going at this hour? It's way too late at night." And he said, "Oh, I have a meeting with such and such. We agreed that we're going to exchange some of the stuff and stuff like that." And the woman, that his wife said, "No, no, 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 no. Do you realize you are in a war?" You see, even though he did not physically fight Muslim, but his wife recognized what he's doing against Muslim. It is as if you're declaring war against Islam. He's saying bad things. He's convincing people to attack Muslims. He's convincing people to do this. He's talking badly about women. He's creating treachery, and he's creating a chaos in Medina, and his alliance with Abu Sufyan, and so many things. His wife recognized what he's doing. He shouldn't be out there by himself talking about trading this and trading that. This is too dangerous. He said, "No, no, no, don't worry. What do you know about business? Don't worry about it. It's just some of my friends that I know them. Abu Naila is my foster brother. And Muhammad bin Maslama, I know him since Jahiliyyah. We're very good friend. And Silkan bin Salama, I know all of these people. So has nothing to do with Muslims. So don't worry about it. And his wife kept saying, "Don't go, don't go." He just, he pretty much, you know, push his wife away and get himself away from his wife and leave. Before he left, he put on all his armors because he was heavily armed. And he has this really, really good armors. And he was a very strong man too. So he put on all his armors and took his swords and left. So when he came, then he started talking with this. I mean, they start talking, and some of the Sahabi, they were saying this and that. So they kept moving away from his fortress a little bit. It was a bright moonlight. It was a Badr, and then they come to a point. Um, Abu Naila, his first brother, said, "Wow, I'm smelling a really nice perfume. Does that come from you?" And Cop said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." He said, "Wow, that smells nice." He said, "Yeah, my wife, my new wife, she is, she loves perfume, so she's the one who put on this perfume on me." He said, "Wow, that smells nice." And then Abu Naila tell him, "Why don't you? Could you please move forward? Let me just smell your hair. Could you please bend your head a little bit so I could smell?" And Allahu Akbar. Then Kaab bent over his leg. I mean his head. He thinks that Abu Naila is going to smell the perfume coming from his hair. Once he lowered his head, Abu Naila just grabbed his head, and some of the Sahaba, like Muhammad bin Maslama and Silkan bin Salama. There was another man. They said he came with these three people, and his name was Haris bin Aus. So now once one of them holds his head, the other start they poke him with their sword, like they start cutting him with the sword, you know. So, but since he was wearing this heavy armors, they could not, they could not right away kill him. So they ended up injure one of the Sahaba while they were poking with the sword. They ended up hurting one of the Sahaba. His name was Haris bin Aus, and Haris was bleeding from the from the sword. But finally, they were able to kill Ka'b ibn Ashraf. Finally, and now this Sahaba, since one of them was bleeding, and they took him to Prophet ﷺ, and they explained the whole situations. And Prophet ﷺ took his saliva, his own saliva, and put on the wound, on the injury place, on the place that the guy was bleeding, and he put his saliva on that spot, and the bleeding stopped, and the guy healed right away, miraculously. Allahu Akbar. Prophet healed the guy with his saliva. That's what even some Sahaba, when Prophet ﷺ, even if he spit, the Sahaba would rush. They don't want Prophet spit his saliva to touch the ground. They would put their hands out so his saliva could get into their hands, and they would massage their body with it because it's the barakah. That's only for Prophet. Even when Prophet shaved his hair, he shaved his hair. The Sahaba would run and get his hair and keep it. Some of them would even put on the waters. They would soak the hair of Prophet and soak it in the waters and drink it, and it would cure their disease. I said this is only for Prophet, not you, not your sheikh. That's what you would see this shirk now. This shirk sort of like develop, in Muslim nations. You would find some sheikh, their students would follow them like a god. They would lower their gaze. They would hold on. They would literally even crawl toward their sheikh. When they shake, spit, they were trying to carry that and eat it. That's nasty. First of all, your sheikh is not ma'asum. Only Prophet ﷺ is ma'asum, meaning he's free from sin. But your sheikh is full of sin. And to do that to your sheikh is a shirk. You can't do that. Because even when Prophet took wudu, when he finished taking wudu, the remaining, I mean the leftover from the wudu, people would use that. Even we're gonna come to that also, inshallah. Khalid bin Walid, he had some of the hair of Prophet ﷺ. He made that hair like he sort of like prepare it, and he would put it under his hat, when he go fighting and stuff like that. So only for Prophet, these things are permissible, but for everybody else, it's haram, it's shirk. You can't do that. That's why some sheikh put themselves, in God place or whatever, or they give themselves some title as if they're the one who's going to save people from hell, by interceding and all this kind of stuff. So no, only for Prophet. Because Allah gave Prophet some of the barakah, some of the blessing only for him. And only he could do that, not nobody else. So this is one of the miracles of Prophet ﷺ. He healed this man just by using his saliva. So this man, Qab ibn Ashraf, he was killed like this. And then all of a sudden, all the Yahud in Medina, they start panicking. They would, shut their doors. They completely close their fortresses. They would not even come out because now they felt threatened because they know what happened to Kaab could happen to any of us if we keep disrespecting Prophet and the Muslim, and if we keep attacking Islam, by treachery, by betrayal, and so forth. So that's, even today, non-Muslim would take this case and said, look at this, he said he's a prophet, now he's assassinating, some of the Yahud, who were in Medina, this and that, a lot of nonsense, but they don't talk about what Ka'b did to begin with. So this is some of the controversial that non-believers use it against Islam, inshallah. So from now on, we're going to stop at this point, and inshallah, next video would be based on will pretty much be based on, we're going to summarize everything right from all the Meccan history. We talked about that way before, but pretty much since many people are watching, are following now, they didn't get a chance to watch the first video we have done right from the beginning of the story of Prophet ﷺ. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to summarize all the Meccan period, right from the Ibrahim alayhi salam to Ismail and all the forefathers of Prophet ﷺ. And I'm going to talk about even the one who brought the first idols to Kaaba. I'm going to just, pretty much summarize everything, all the Meccan periods up to this point. And then we're going to move forward to the period of Medina, things that took place in Medina, starting with Uhud, inshallah. So we say, ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.